SmackDown took place tonight in Raleigh, North Carolina, and this was a show that was the follow up from last week's Bloody Angle, in which Randy Orton turned on Cody Rhodes. Probably the biggest segment on the road to WrestleMania thus far, and we are exactly 1 month away from WrestleMania now. Wanted to mention some news. Dennis Rodman is now in the WWE Hall of Fame. He will be the fourth inductee this year, and I'm thinking to myself, why? What the fuck? This is stupid. This is dumb WWE/TKO bullshit. If this is the WCW Hall of Fame, okay, but it's a WWE Hall of Fame. No one remembers anything he did. For what? Why is he being inducted? And there's other celebrities who should be going in ahead of him. I don't even like the celebrity wing. I wish they'd get rid of it. But someone like Cyndi Lauper, who helped promote the first WrestleMania, should be going in ahead of Dennis Rodman. This is stupid. Stupid-ass WWE TKO bullshit. Triple H, I don't know if I think he chooses it. I don't know why they picked Rodman. This is stupid. Also wanted to mention Chuck Norris passed away today. He's a major figure. He's very well known in all of pop culture. Everyone knows Chuck Norris jokes. So I wanted to mention that. I think he did some stuff with WWE before. I think he was involved one time in a match that The Undertaker had. And I think he was stopping some heels from interfering. This was in the 90s. So I think he's done some stuff with wrestling. But wanted to mention that Chuck Norris passed on. And I don't know. I guess you can't make all those Chuck Norris jokes. So maybe you can say he didn't die. He just chose to rest, or I don't know a good Chuck Norris joke, but those are always popular when I was a kid. At least I remember them. Anyway, the show started off. We saw Jelly Roll arriving with a bunch of security, and then we see when actually a bunch of security ran past him to reveal that Drew McIntyre attacked Jacob Fatu in his vehicle. Jacob was busted open. Drew removed the windshield, dragged him out, and I just thought to myself, there's been more blood on SmackDown in the last 2 weeks than like the last 15 years with Jacob tonight, and last week with obviously the way Cody was bleeding. So what happened after that was the Drew was then went into the arena where the show the ring is and that setup, and he cuts a promo, and Aldis came out with security. Drew dared Aldis to fire him. Jacob then comes back. He goes after him. They brawl by ringside. Jacob ends up driving Drew through the announce booth. Damian Priest came out next. Then Truth's music hit. Then the MFT was out. We got the tag team titles on the line. WWE tag team titles. MFT, which was defending their belts as JC Mateo and Tama Tonga defending against Damian Priest and R-Truth. I'll be honest, I kind of fast forward through it. It's not a slate against Priest or Truth, but MFT, anything to Solo Sikoa, I don't want. I like Tama Tonga. I like JC Mateo. Solo, I can't stand. I don't want to see him on my TV screen. He has go-away heat with me. So Wyatt 6 actually interfered. They went after the MFTs. Then Howdy took out Solo. JC attacked Howdy. And then Priest took out Tama Tonga. And then R-Truth hit the AA on JC Mateo to win the tag team titles. Right decision. MFT and Wyatt 6 killed this division. They had the Motor City Machine Guns, Fraxium, DIY before Ciampa left the company, all in this division. Instead, the idiot loser Triple H, the head booker, decided to put the focus on the MFT and the Wyatt 6, and it killed this fucking division. It's one of the best WWE tag team divisions ever, and Triple H killed it the last year by pushing these fucking two shit bum teams. But I'm glad that Truth and Priest got the belts. And then already the tag belts are now more interesting and fun because Truth is involved. So backstage, the luscious, I have to call her that the way she looked, Kathy Kelly interviews the Bella Twins before their tag team title match. And then Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss walk in while eating ice cream. And Charlotte did all the talking. They had an interaction. I think Brie took Alexa's spoon. All I thought was, Alexa Bliss is cute. Her eating ice cream is just too cute. It should be illegal how cute she is. Danhausen walks in on Candice LeRae trying to help Johnny Gargano as he was planking. He pried money from her. It's so stupid. The Guns walk by. Sabin tells Shelly not to interact with Candice to concentrate on their match. They show us the Vegas Strip to promote WrestleMania tickets after the break. Backstage, Kathy Kelly interviewed Sami Zayn on his thoughts on why Randy Orton turned on Cody Rhodes last week. Then Trick walks in, mocks him, and sets up a match in the future. Fraxium was out next. Then the guns were out. We get Fraxium against the Motor City Machine Guns in a match that was criminally too short. Candice attacked Nathan Frazier, allowing Shelly to, or actually allowing Sabin to get the roll-up win. So I don't know. Is she going to be aligned with them now? I don't know. Randy Orton walked by the car crash site backstage where Drew attacked Jacob with the vehicle. After the break, Randy Orton came out. He sat on the steel chair in the ring and cut a kind of like a tweener type promo. It's clear WWE expects a pro Orton crowd at WrestleMania. That's why it feels like they haven't necessarily gone full all the way heel like they did with Cena last year. They kind of know that it's going to be an Orton crowd. Fans are fully behind Randy by the end of the promo. Aleister Black was out next with Zelina Vega. They got no reaction as you'd expect. Backstage, Randy confronts Matt Cardona backstage. Cardona was pissed off at what happened last week. Randy called him like a mark-ass stooge and indie nerd before taking a cheap shot. I don't think he's wrong there, I'm not going to lie. But I thought Orton was actually really funny here. Sami Zayn was out next, followed by Trick Williams. We get Aleister Black against Sami Zayn. All I thought was this would have been great if this took place in NXT like 9 years ago. Trick distracted Sami Zayn, allowing Aleister Black to hit the Black Mass for the win. He celebrates with his wife Zelina. Cardona wanted to face Randy tonight. He was yelling at Aldis. Aldis said no. Then he tells Carmelo Hayes after Cardona leaves that the Open Challenge is closed tonight, and then it's revealed as he walks up. Ilya Dragunov reveals he's getting the title shot tonight. Jade Cargill heads to the ring. After the break, we got a Nia Jax /Legend video promo. Don't give a shit. Then Jade Cargill was out next. She immediately called up Rhea Ripley, who came out on demand. Rhea says she needs this. Jade actually mentioned Io, which was interesting. But I don't think Io's going to get in that match. Rhea wants Jade to hit her, but she refused. This sucked, to be honest. I thought Jade was awful here. Then Mishin and B-Fab walk down, and they're going after Jade, it looks like. But then they are aligned with Jade. They surround the ring, and they beat down Rhea Ripley. Mishin hit Rhea with the kendo stick, and then Jade hit the Jaded on Rhea. They pose over Rhea's fallen body by the WrestleMania sign, and I guess we have a new stable. So at least they finally did it. I was waiting for them forever to turn B-Fab. I guess they turned Mishin with her, so at least that helps Mishin have something to do, I guess. If not, I don't think she would have lasted in the company long if she didn't get in the stable. Backstage, Kit talked to Miz about Jelly Roll. Danhausen appeared. This sucked. So Solo was furious at the MFT after their loss. He was yelling at JC Mateo and Tama Tonga, but then Tama tells him to give the lantern back to the Wyatts. He mentioned Roman, and then Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre come flying into the screen as they continue to brawl backstage, like rammed into the garage. Ilya Dragunov was out next. After the break, they mentioned that stupid Dennis Rodman bullshit Hall of Fame induction. So stupid. Carmelo Hayes was out next. We get the United States Championship on the line. Carmelo Hayes defending his title against Ilya Dragunov. Excellent matchup, as you'd expect. Melo retained after a sunset flip, so I think Dragunov will turn heel very soon now. Backstage, Jelly Roll talks to Damian Priest and R-Truth after their title win. Then Randy apologizes to him for last week. He gives him a good motivational speech, Jelly Roll did. And I thought this was actually a really good segment. I think it just went on a bit too long. Kit Wilson was out next, and then they show, after the break, they show tail to tape with Brock Lesnar against Obafemi. Then Kit Wilson calls out Jelly Roll, who comes out. Kit runs out of the ring. Then Jelly Roll challenges him to a match. And then it turns into a rap battle. Really? I thought this is so dumb. Then Kit wants it to be slam poetry. Kit reads a poem on Jelly Roll. It was funny. Kit was great here, and it actually made me laugh. It was fat jokes about Ozempic and him not being able to say see his dick or stuff like that. It was actually really funny, and it got me to laugh. I thought Kit came off really funny here. He's really one of the few bright spots on this show. SmackDown sucks most weeks because it's 3 hours and it takes forever, but Kit is actually doing really well here. Even after his tag team partner's out, I think permanently with some sort of neck injury, Kit Wilson's become very entertaining on this show. Eventually, Jelly Roll responds. He just brings up Kit's mom, which I guess at work, the crowd popped. But then Kit attacked him. He lays him out after with a corkscrew elbow. So it was like the first time I've seen Kit Wilson actually get the upper hand on anyone in a segment. Backstage, Kiana James was being scolded by Julia after her loss last week. Then Chelsea Green and Alba Fire appear. Chelsea wants to go after Tiffany, who wasn't on the show, by the way. Then Nia and Lash pushed Chelsea away in the chair as they head down for their match. Backstage, Jelly Roll wants Kit Wilson. He tells Aldis, and it's going to happen next week. The champs are already in the ring. The women's tag team champs for the Bellas. The challengers come out, so we don't usually see champions get jobber entrances, but Nia Jax and Lash Legend to me are like one step above jobbers. So we get the irresistible forces, Lash Legend and Nia Jax defending their titles against the Bella Twins, Brie Bella and Nikki Bella. So all I thought watching is Nikki really isn't that bad. She's not good, but she isn't bad. Brie's awful. Brie's always been horrendous. Of the two of them, Brie's been the one who was awful. I think the reason some of the IWC internet marks don't criticize her as much as they should is because she's married to like their favorite wrestler, one of their favorite wrestlers, Bryan Danielson, aka Daniel Bryan. But she's always been horrendous, Brie Bella. Nikki was never that bad, especially in her later years, and still she's not awful, but Brie is horrendous. Anyway, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss would later come out. Alexa looking great, did I mention? I liked her look today a lot. Wish you could have saw more of her, but then Charlotte attacks Nia, causing a DQ. Leads to a brawl between the two, and then the heels lay everyone out. And that's all I thought was like Lash is really strong. She actually, like, after they laid out Alexa, Brie, and Nikki, she picks up Charlotte Flair like a little girl and like puts her in her arms, like for like at the spot where she holds her up, and Nia comes down with the leg drop, and like Charlotte, it's not like Alexa, she's not tiny, and like it's kind of impressive just seeing Lash like totally like woman handle her, if that's the right term, like totally being so strong, just carrying her like a little girl and stuff. Then Randy was talking to someone on the phone. He says he's going to be in the ring now. They showed the Vegas sights again after the break, and they preview next week's show. Randy Orton was out one last time. Called out Matt Cardona to apologize. He apologized to him. They shake hands, and Randy hits a low blow, followed by an RKO. Security tries to stop him, but he pulmonizes Matt's arm, and before they try to restrain him, then Orton gets out of it, and those idiots left Cardona's arm in the chair, and Randy stomps it. Fans chanted one more time, which was funny. So yeah, Randy's going to get cheered at WrestleMania. That's obvious. Then Drew and Jacob were fighting outside. We just showed the cameras on the Titantron. Aldis and Security sprint to the back. Completely don't give a shit about Cardona. Now his arm just got snapped in half, according to the announcers. And we see Drew and Jacob fighting on some structure. I don't know what it was. But they're brawling. Like, both of them fall off. I thought it looked stupid. I thought it looked so corny. But that's how the show ended. Sets up Drew and Jacob. They better have a big stipulation. Hope it's not just some last man standing. Why not do the Hell in a Cell? There rumors it was going to be Cody and Drew in Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania. I wouldn't mind Drew and Jacob because they're doing such a good, they're trying to kill each other every week. You may as well just do a major stipulation at WrestleMania. But that's how SmackDown ended this week. I thought it had definitely a lot more energy to it than last week. Last week just felt so fucking dull, so devoid of any life, just so much of a copy-paste stuff you've seen a million times type of show until the last segment, which was great. Here, the show had a lot more energy. It didn't have a segment anywhere near on the level as the one that ended last week, but I thought the show had more energy than last week, and that's a low bar, so what does that say? Still not enjoying this road to WrestleMania at all. It still feels like we're on the back road. Well, by now we should be on the main highway. I'm not into it. I don't care about most of the matches. Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes doesn't really do anything for me as a match. CM Punk Roman Reigns really doesn't do anything for me as a match. Jade Cargill, Rhea Ripley doesn't do much for me. Neither does Liv Morgan, Stephanie Becker. Brock Lesnar, Oba Femi's had a good build-up. I mean, it's been like 1 week, but I'm really not that looking forward to the match. It's going to be a 5-minute match, so this WrestleMania, I'm just not feeling it this year at all. And I didn't feel that for last year, and I feel like last year had one of the worst builds in recent memory. I think this has become even worse because last year it wasn't necessarily like we didn't know the matches. We thought like what they were doing was awful, especially with the Cena heel turn and pushing Jey Uso to the main event while he was fucking horrendous. And the Charlotte Tiffany disaster feud. So many problems with last year's build. Even the woman on Raw with Rhea, Io, and Bianca, like that just came together at the last month. Didn't have good build up, but the match was spectacular. This year, same problems, but even worse because we don't know anything. We haven't learned anything since the last month. It's just so up in the air. We don't know a lot of the direction still, and it's just not that interesting. There's no big storyline. Last year there was, even though the build-up was horrible, was the Cena heel turn. It's just that they fumbled it. 2 years ago, the best build-up in modern, maybe the best build-up ever to WrestleMania 2 years ago. I want to go back to that show, man. 2 years ago in Philly, I think that might have been the best WrestleMania of all time. It's like really, I think you appreciate wrestling and WrestleManias and build-ups to shows until you don't really truly appreciate them to their impact and their extent as much as they should until like a year or two afterwards. Because I really appreciate WrestleMania 40 a lot more now with this build-up. This boring, lackluster builds the last 2 years, which have not delivered. And the 2 years ago, totally different story. But anyway, that was SmackDown. We continue on the road to WrestleMania. We'll see what happens next week in Pittsburgh. And I have not enjoyed this road to WrestleMania this year. It just feels like we've had 2 straight years of a lackluster road to WrestleMania, and it feels like we're going to get a lackluster WrestleMania for the second consecutive year.